Hello. My name's Fabian Gibson.
And my name's Christy, McHale, and welcome to our podcast, Frequently Asked DXB.
This is the podcast where we introduce you to the developers of Dubai with the occasional special guest.
We ask the questions so you don't have to.
So, hello, Mr. Marius.
Hi. Good afternoon.
Welcome.
How are you today?
I'm very good, thank you. Thanks for inviting me on your podcast.
It's a pleasure.
No,
Excited to be here.
thank you for coming. So today we have Marius here from AHS Properties. He's going to let us know some insight on obviously who you guys are, what you guys have, and we'll run it through. So tell us about yourself, Mr. Marius.
Where do I start?
Where do you start? So yourself, obviously, you're in AHS now. It'd be good to hear a bit more about your background, where you've come from, what brought you to here.
Sure. So currently I'm head of sales at AHS Properties. We're an ultra luxury boutique developer, and I'll go a bit more into that shortly. A bit about myself. I've been in real estate for almost 16 years now. I started very young. Long time. I've traveled the world selling real estate, predominantly UK real estate, so central London projects, in the Far East and in the Middle East as well. And then in the last kind of 4 years, I focused specifically on super prime properties in central London. I was working at Savills, working St. John's Wood, Regent's Park, Marylebone, kind of the central areas, selling some beautiful properties. And then about a year and a half ago, obviously, I previously did live in Dubai in 2014, 2015, but it was in and out. So I was doing Qatar, UAE,
I bet it was so
Kuwait.
different then as well.
Yeah,
completely different.
very different 10 years ago. And then obviously about a year and a half ago, kind of it made sense for me to come back to Dubai. A lot of my clients from London were doing things here in the UAE, given that the real estate market has been incredible for the last 5 years. And it just made sense for me to kind of permanently move to Dubai this time around. Obviously, there's a lot of people relocating from the UK and from Europe to the UAE. And given my experience, I thought, I'll be better suited to be in Dubai and be part of the all the exciting things that are taking place in Dubai.
Just on that as well. Obviously, you was here before. What would you say the biggest difference is within the 10 years from being there? What thing did you see and you went, whoa? Do you know what I mean? Like, whoa.
Dubai now is incredibly established from everything, from restaurants, from hospitality, entertainment, real estate market as well. The real estate market in 2014, 2015 was very different to what it is now.
Did you think about going into real estate 10 years ago here? Or not?
So I couldn't really, because my focus was selling the UK real estate projects to the market here, to clients here. So back then it was slightly different. Funny enough, now it's reversed. People from the UK are buying in the UAE, whereas back then it was, I was basically selling UK projects and London projects to clients in the Far East and clients in the Middle East. So at that point, I was so kind of focused on what I was doing, selling the UK stuff, the London stuff. I didn't really think about, I should be staying in Dubai, because it was a very different landscape. Like the real estate market was nothing what it is today, It was a lot slower, obviously.
Infrastructure just wasn't there.
What? It was Dubai at that point. It was still very exciting, but it was nowhere near to what it is now. Like I said, hospitality, entertainment, everything. So it has changed a lot. The market, obviously, in Dubai now, from a real estate perspective, has been incredible, and people want to live here more than they probably did 10 years ago.
People come for a year, right, and then they're still here. 5-10 years later.
I had a 2 year. Me, it was 2 years, and now I've been here 4 years. Well, over 4 years. You know what I mean?
And it's changed. And you probably, in your time, Dubai has changed massively, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, very different, not as established. It was still a very exciting place to be, but nowhere to the point where I thought, I got to think about living in Dubai, you know?
Yeah.
And I was quite lucky. I was traveling quite a lot with my work. And back then, the London market was a lot better than what it is, or it has been recently. 2014, 2015 were still relatively good years. And then obviously 2016 onwards, it kind of became a bit more of a challenge.
Yeah. So when you moved to Dubai, what then brought you to AHS? What was it about the the company?
Yeah, so for me, number one was the amazing locations for the projects that we have. You know, our CEO, Abbas, is very strategic with the kind of locations that we've picked for our first projects. So we've got 3 projects next to each other on the Dubai Water Canal on the Safa Park side, which from a location perspective is unrivaled, because you have the park behind you and then it's waterfront on one side. It's very close to downtown Burj Khalifa, but also the beach. So it kind of ticks all the boxes.
Yeah.
So for me, that was number one, right? I mean, real estate in many ways, it's location. The type of projects as well that we have also attracted me. We're, ultra luxury boutique developer. Our biggest residential project to date is only 67 units. Yeah. All the other projects are very small. So the scale of the projects are, focused on ultra luxury. So those things combined, and also the kind of vision and what kind of exciting projects we will have in the next couple of months also was an exciting thing to be able to work in new kind of projects. So the great pipeline, the locations, and the vision. And the type of projects.
And obviously, with that being said, so AHS, when was you established? Just a little bit more on that.
So Abbas founded AHS Group in 2017, but AHS Properties, part of the AHS Group, was 2021.
Yeah.
Okay, so kind of straight after COVID, obviously Abbas recognized the opportunity in the kind of ultra luxury segment. Which obviously now it's a lot more mature than it was straight after COVID.
Yeah.
And I guess he recognized that there is actually a lot of people moving from Europe, from overseas, and looking at Dubai as a destination to live rather than just a destination to come and visit. So that's when the properties arm was founded.
Yeah. And for people who don't know who Abbas is, obviously when you're in Dubai, everyone knows who he is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For people who haven't got a clue, can you give us a bit of background about who he is as a person?
Yeah, sure. So obviously Abbas Sajwani is a very dynamic young entrepreneur. He grew up from the age of 7 around real estate and real estate development. His father is obviously Mr. Hussein Sajwani, the founder of the Damak Group. But obviously Abbas wanted to create his own legacy. Hence why AHS Properties became, a separate entity. And he wanted to really focus on ultra luxury on the ultra luxury segment, boutique projects rather than big volume, big scale developments. So very different to what his other side of the family are doing. And he's very dynamic, very entrepreneurial, and he's creating his own legacy through the projects that we have on the Canal, the project on the Palm. And also with the commercial project that has been very well received in the last couple of months.
Yeah, it has the good old project. But that's how obviously I first got to speaking with you. Literally, as soon as I see the project, I messaged my people. I was like, "This is one of the projects of the year. If not the project of the year." Yeah, higher ticket, yes, but very good returns, wasn't it?
Yeah, with, huge margins.
With the margins, but so obviously we'll get onto that project, but just a little bit more about. I just want to get obviously on the Canal. So you've got 3 projects there. Safa Park, one of the oldest parks as well, isn't it? Safa
in
Park,
Dubai, Dubai, correct.
I think I actually did a little Google on this. Is 1974 or 5, one of the two.
Yeah.
There's another park that I think just beats it, but it wasn't to the public. But going on to locations, I mean, it's spot on. You hit the nail on the head there. You've got the sea just down the road. Yeah. It's perfectly located if you wanted to get into work, if you're in the DIFCs, the downtown, and then of course on the Canal, it's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah.
Your competitors there as well. You've got the likes of, is it 4 Seasons?
4 Seasons, yeah. At the end of the Canal, you've got the Peninsula coming up as well, Amman Residences, Rosewood Hotel. So it's really, I think at the moment it's slightly underrated.
Yeah.
But it is, once our projects hand over, you've got other projects as well, Eden House, the park that are going to be handing over. And I think when people, if you look at the location, and once the retail and the commercial spaces will be taken up by, different cafes, restaurants, I think that area is going to
because it's really quiet when you go down there now.
It is quiet. And I think some people arguably feel it's not there yet. But I think for someone who has the understanding to look at the fundamentals of the location, it's waterfront, you've got a park behind you, you're close to the beach, you're close to downtown, you're close to the IFC, you know, close to J1 and that whole Jumeirah part. It kind of, you can get better than that, you know. And obviously Dubai, as it grows, the traffic gets worse, right? You know, the population is increasing. I think we've all felt it in the last week or two. Exactly. And you know, the ability to be so close to everything, I think it's going to become more valued by people. You know, if you're on the Palm, especially in one of the crescents, obviously the Palm is an icon, but it takes you quite a long time to get, for example, to DIFC. You know, whereas being on the Dubai Water Canal, especially on the other side towards the sea, it's a lot closer.
We actually lived in the creek.
Okay.
And I love going to, I don't know if you use Privily here, but I love Privily. Privily is my favorite. So I like going to the Sofitel. So all right, cool. It is at the end. So the time frame that does get further because of the end, but it used to take me like 50 minutes sometimes.
It's changed. So I think that's what, going back to the canal, I think in the next 2 to 3 years, that location is going to completely explode on the back of what's happening at the end on the peninsula, on the back of our projects also handing over. But when you look at it, you're just so close to everything. You can walk, cycle on the canal towards Kite Beach.
Yeah, it is beautiful.
You know, you're just literally in the middle of everything. So I think really it's an underrated location
people
so far, but I think
definitely.
people are recognizing the value.
So the commercial
Tower
project, how we met. As I said before, I was really happy to see this. It was one of the projects of the year. I got it out to a lot of investors. Myself, we had meetings on it. For me, it just made sense. So it's the tower that everyone explains as the Big Ben lookalike. So,
quite an iconic building.
What's an iconic building that is? So let's talk us through the commercial project there. So
obviously AHS Tower. Also known as the Big Ben of Dubai, really, because it's been there for quite a while. It's on Sheikh Zayed Road, right next to the IFC. We bought the building and we're doing something quite innovative in the sense that we're keeping the existing structure of the tower, and then we're basically refreshing everything. So in many ways, apart from the core and the structure of the building, everything's going to be brand new. We are turning it into A-grade commercial office spaces. It has been very well received by clients. As you guys know, we pretty much were supposed to kind of launch the project in September. We more or less sold out in the 2 months during summer when you think, you know, people are away.
Orange highlights done me.
Exactly. And there was a point where it was like it was changing daily.
Daily,
so,
I remember.
you know, it just shows that the fundamentals of the project were spot on. One of our biggest advantage was obviously the location. You know, we're on Sheikh Zayed Road, but you're next to the IFC. That's like gold, you know, to be in that kind of location. Those kind of plots are not going to become available. They're not available anymore. So from a location, again, spot on location. Obviously the macro environment in terms of commercial office space, if you look at Dubai in the last 20, 30 years, most of developers have pushed on the residential side of things, whereby commercial has been somewhat neglected, especially for A-grade office spaces with amenities. So there still is a massive gap between supply and demand. The demand is increasing because you've got more capital coming from Europe into the UAE, but the supply of really good office spaces is still not catching up with that demand. So that obviously played a big part. Our price per square foot, if you look at what other options people have to buy, has been very attractive. And finally, it was also the handover timeline, you know, because you're looking at Q1 2027. But a lot of the other new projects that have come up into the market from other developers, you're looking at 4 to 5 years away. And as an investor, you know, that has a huge impact on your investment and
of
kind of how lucrative an investment can be. So very, very great project. I wish we had another tower like that.
Yeah, same.
another
I was pretty
location.
gutted actually.
Yeah.
All the floors went, but you've still got half floors.
We
haven't
still
you?
have some
half
options
floors,
on the
which is
lower
still
levels.
good. Yeah.
They're very good options.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, the numbers, if you look at the comparables from a rental perspective, from a sales and purchasing perspective, the comparables are there to support that it's a great investment. And unlike residential, obviously being on a lower floor, people say, oh, I want that view, but really it doesn't matter because it's an office space, you know. So the fundamentals of the investment are still great. And on the last couple of units we've got 9 units left effectively.
And when you're holding commercial in the long term, if we look at the past couple of years,
that's right.
Rent has been increasing 36% year on year.
Yeah, which is crazy, right? And if you look at the occupancy rate
it's crazy.
Dubai office spaces, it's like 97 or 98%.
Yeah.
So it just shows you that macro, you know, economics of the commercial office space market is the gap is still there between
and
demand and supply.
when you look at the market, people are always debating between apartments and townhouses, which is a great debate. But as you said, commercial space is completely slept upon. No one is taking the opportunity.
A lot actually. It's surprising because it's when you look at, like, not talking AHS but just general commercial, you're getting some like yields of what, 10 to 15%.
Double-digit returns.
Double-digit returns. You know, and for me, that's crazy. That isn't it? It's crazy. Obviously, when it's not spoken about so much because you can get them returns. Yeah. Again, because it is so in demand.
Yeah.
You know, there is,
and there's a limited supply. Ultimately, that's always going to hold prices up. So obviously now developers are catching on with the fact that commercial office spaces are a hot topic. So people will naturally see more projects coming,
of course,
to the market. But again, you have to get the fundamentals right. Location, you know, price per square foot. If you're buying in at a high price per square foot and if it's off plan and it takes 4 to 5 years for the building to be handed over, who knows where the market will be in 4 to 5 years. So
of course,
for us, having that advantage of the handover, really, you know, clients were looking at what else they can buy, and it was a no-brainer in many ways.
Well, two comparables of commercial projects in sort of recent times that have launched. You've got Omnat's launched their projects. That was at around 6,000 square foot, I believe, their last project. Handover 2029, but at the end of it, so you know, well ahead. There's Seoul. I don't know if you've seen the Seoul project, Business Bay. They launched around 5,000 a square foot. That's 2028. You know, so this fits quite nicely into that, you know, because of course there's still going to be a demand for them. I'm not putting them projects down at all, but this actually fits in very nicely. It's on the cheaper front per square foot, and then the handover is Q1 2027. So yeah, it really does fit the bill, and there's so much more to it as well. I think with the AHS, I think just cutting on the location, you can't get that. Do you know what I mean? That DIFC, you know, obviously with how it's run as well, there's different licensing that you need to be in DIFC. So this is great for investors, or even if you're going to be using it yourself.
You
know, the prestige of being in that location is important, you know, especially for bigger corporates. So I think investors and users will do phenomenally well with the project, you know. It was, like I said, maybe project of the year, and
one of them for sure.
We wish that we had another one like this, but you know, let's see what the future holds. We will definitely have more commercial projects coming up in the future, but you know, it might not be a kind of similar scenario as AHS Tower. But commercial, I think it'll be good for quite some time.
What was your favorite so far in your time at AHS? What project's been your favorite? Has it been the commercial one or?
Good question.
Just to add on that, you showed me the penthouse one. That was crazy. That got what is it? The
Teppanyaki bar on the terraces. So obviously our projects, our residential projects are catered to you know the ultra high net worth individuals, for someone who wants something very exclusive, very boutique. My favorite project, obviously from a sales perspective and how quickly moved AHS Tower is the one from a location perspective, but also Casa AHS, our third project on the Dubai Water Canal, is incredibly special. Only 32 units. That amazing location where you've got the park behind you, waterfront, the canal in front of you. iconic downtown and Burj Khalifa views. Then again, towards the back, you've got Burj Al Arab and the sea and the sunset. But one of the main things for that project, the third project called Casa AHS, is the 6 meters seating height throughout the units. So that is going to have an incredible, impression on people. Our other 2 projects, the seating height is 4.5. And I've been in them, and even at 4.5, the experience of entering the apartment, for example, One Canal, which is 6 months away from handover, even at 4.5 meter seating height, it's a very different experience. So I can imagine a 6 meter seating height. It's going to be incredible. So for Resi, it's going to be...
You're looking all the way up, aren't you?
This is not, this is probably, 3.5.
Yeah.
But I can imagine that's going to be very special when it comes from the ground.
Yeah, so
from the ground.
with One Canal as well, handover's not that far away.
Yeah.
People that bought into One Canal, did you find it being more investors, more end users across the projects, really? What did you...
I think because of the nature of our projects, the entry points and the type of residences, we only have 3 bedrooms and above. So we don't have like 1 or 2 beds. A lot of, I would say 80 to 90% of the clients that have bought are end users. They plan to use the residence for themselves. But for the odd kind of client who maybe wants to resell or wanted to resell, they've made some very good profit there.
Actually,
we see one. It was like 9 million dirham profit.
Bought it for 40 mil.
Yeah.
Resold 49.
Yeah. So there will be instances, and the reason being is obviously there are projects on the canal like the Four Seasons, like Mr. C, for example, that are trading well above the price per square foot that our projects are at, and I think especially when One Canal hands over in the first quarter of next year, 2026, you will see obviously a massive uplift in the price per square foot for our other projects, Casa AHS and Casa Canal, because people look at the seating height, the location, the limited availability, and then it's kind of like
no-brainer.
It makes so I think that's where people will really see the uplift.
Again, just on that, I know I mentioned it earlier, but I think actually on that, they're located right next to that park. That is the best probably location on there.
On the canal, correct? Because there are other projects where you're behind,
behind this
local emirate, like local villas,
which is
it was different, but the park acts as a buffer, and it's quite rare. Like there are not many communities where you can say, "I've got a park, I'll go downstairs and walk my dog."
People love the park. They love
imagine
greenery.
that dog walk. You walk around the park and then you go back onto the canal and then you back. You know what I mean? It's a good old walk. That Rooney and Peanut would like that one for sure. Our dogs. Do you know what I mean? So
great for by far. I agree with you. Obviously, I'm biased, but I think those plots are kind of the best on that strip because of the park.
No, for sure. So just to recap, just so we're getting everything on the commercial one, because this is what we've got available. Payment plan.
60-40.
60-40.
So
what's
60
the structure?
60 during the refurb period and 40% on handover. So it's 5%, 20% on 5% to book, 20% on SPA, and then every 3 months after the signing of the SPA is 8.75% increment. So it is quite spread out.
With that as well, when it does come to near handover, can you do your refurb before? Is that allowed? That
it's
type
about
of stuff?
3 months before you can go in.
So you're all prepped up, you're all ready. Obviously we said the handover's 2027 Q1. Is there anything else to add? Would you add anything else on that you should know about this investment? The architect.
Design.
That's what we want to speak to. They're very good architects, aren't they? Killer designs.
Absolutely.
Says it in the name. Museum of the Future.
Museum of the Future, Marsa Al Arab more recently, Address JBR, Shabar Resort in Saudi Arabia. They actually have a lot of projects in
iconic
Dubai.
as well. People know,
I mean, Museum of the Future
about.
being a government project kind of, says it all about killer design and their kind of experience in the Middle East. So they're great. We've worked with all our projects are with killer design. So even the facade for AHS Tower is killer designed.
Is that going to be your theme, do you reckon, always? Or I mean, you can't really speak
we've
for the
obviously
future,
got a very good relationship with killer design, so we want to continue that.
What a relationship to have, by the way, I imagine.
Yeah, it's honestly just a museum in the future.
Statement in itself.
I actually, when I was pitching out, I went, look, same guys that build a museum in the future, because it speaks for yourself. You know that what level of quality you are going to get with them guys.
Yeah, and also our other partner for the interiors of our projects, HBA. Again, HBA more recently did Marshall Arab interiors. So again, you can see the caliber of partners that we work with.
Sure,
are top tier to reflect obviously the kind of projects we will deliver.
Yeah.
No, I'm excited. I'm excited to see how it turns out. I literally, and it's good because I know you showed me a video of what it looked like before. So I love that whole concept, because it's basically a luxury refurb that you're giving the building, aren't you? That's practically get my words out there. What you're doing. No, so yeah, thank you for letting us know on that. In regards to maybe the type of people buying into this for the commercial, who are they? Is it end users, like people looking to come in? Are you getting more investors? Would you say it's like
quite a balance, actually? We've had a good amount of end users. Because again, it goes back, and that quick handover timeline has allowed us to attract end users as well. Someone looking at an office today, but their lease might be expiring in 18, 24 months, then our AHS Tower becomes a serious contender, because they can wait for the 18 months. So it's been quite an interesting one, because it hasn't just been investors looking for capital appreciation or rental income. So I think it's been a healthy mix between end users and investors. A lot of people that are on the investor side, they would hold the units until handover and most likely rent them out, purely because, as you guys mentioned, the yields are double digits. You're in a phenomenal location that's not going to come up again. Keep in mind, for example, ICT Brookfield, which is an incredible building, you can only lease, you cannot buy. So
it's very, very hard to get into, isn't it?
There's a massive waiting list, and the requirements for having a DIFC license are completely more strict and more regulated. So it's been a healthy mix. A lot of European clients, British clients, family offices, people in fintech. It's been quite a mixed bag. I think a lot of the people that have bought for investment will keep the units, because they'll see a really good capital appreciation, but also the rental income being very, very healthy.
Yeah.
I mean, even on that, so if we're talking comparables with ready stuff now, you've got Boulevard
Plaza and downtown is 6,500 dirhams per square foot if you were to buy. There's very few comparables. Really good locations, right? Because location is very important. We've got the Opus, quite an iconic building because of the architecture. Again, it's business based, so comparing the location, there is a difference there.
But even with that, like I did see a transaction hit 7,000 square foot in Opus.
There was one actually a couple of weeks ago, 9,000. It was an outlier,
really?
Yeah, 9,000. So
do you know what I mean? It's like I would say the average is probably a little bit less than that. It's probably around.
I agree. It was one transaction, but
it's like that's someone's hit it. Do you know what I mean? It's like it's there.
It's possible.
It's possible. And even speaking to the commercial, when I spoke to the commercial team about it, that even the stuff that's all right, cool, not the transacted stuff, but the stuff that is available, and what the owners actually want for these stuff, it's like not, it's even more. Do you know what I mean? It's not in Opus I'm talking about. Some of them are asking for like 6,000 dirhams per square foot. So you will start to see more of them transactions. From based on obviously the ones you can see online compared to actually speaking to these owners every day. They have a target they want to hit. So this is another reason why, like, your return on equity on this, on if you're purchasing to flip, you've got a very strong chance of hitting some high numbers.
Absolutely, and you're buying at a really good price per square foot.
You are.
So for starting 4,000 dirhams per square foot, it's a great deal, and the numbers just speak for themselves, really. So anyone who hasn't bought an AHS Tower, you better get in touch quickly soon and book something, because it's a great project,
especially for people who are like not so much confident in the market and they don't know where to invest in, and they're like, is there an oversupply? Villas, townhouses,
Resi is a very different market altogether. It's very hard to navigate, because it's
and you've got to buy the right thing when you're buying residential. But if that is you, then commercial, it's a no-brainer. Risk minimal.
Yeah. And also you guys probably have seen it. A lot of people already have a lot of resi in their portfolio in Dubai. And now to balance it, you kind of need commercial. And most of my clients, for example, they've got multiple offices, office investments, you know, so you have to diversify because resi, unless you're speaking with the right everyone, you know, you have to navigate. It's a very, especially on the off plan, there's new projects being launched every other day, you know. I don't know how you guys keep up with everything, but it's tough, right? So you can imagine for
group chats.
So it's commercial really, you know, that if you just look at the simple, you know, supply and demand, that tells you everything. That it's still a very good play.
So as a summary then, just to obviously put it all, so we've got commercial with AHS available. So 60-40 payment plan, Q7 20 Q7. Wow, imagine if that's a good summary, that one. Do you know what? Let's keep that one in. So
Q7. What calendar are you working from? Because I want a few quarters.
I'm working
to my time goes too quick, eh?
I'm working on Fabian's calendar. No, so Q1 2027. Obviously, your price per square foot's around 4,000. The sizes of the units are
3,600 for the smallest half and 4,200 for the bigger halves on what we have available. Full floors, we don't really have any full floors available.
The location is
next to the IFC on Sheikh Zayed Road, incredibly well connected. You've got Emirates Towers metro station right in front of the building, so it's very well located.
So overall, as a summary, it looks like a spot on.
Overall, as a summary, if you haven't bought an AHS tower, then you need to buy before the units
you need to go and buy it. You know what I mean? Look at Marius as well.
Definitely is.
Chapping man, and the hair looking all smart and suave.
Straight from London.
Straight from London, isn't it? So, quick fire questions with you.
Okay, so question number 1.
Yeah.
Who's your favourite architect?
Killer Design. Just because they've got an incredible track record. And they have created some iconic buildings like Museum of the Future, Mars Al Arab, and we obviously work with them as well on our project.
Next.
What's your favourite location in Dubai?
I'm going to be biased and say the Dubai Water Canal, just because it's close to everything. Close to downtown, the IFC, it's waterfront, you've got the park next to you, and you're very close to the beach.
As an investor yourself, do you prefer to hold or do you prefer to flip?
I prefer to hold. Obviously, flipping, you got to get the fundamentals right. And Dubai is a very dynamic market. So I would probably aim to hold something.
A lot of investors end up chasing the tail and buying and selling and then don't know.
I think there was a very good time period to do that in Dubai. There was. But the dynamic of the market has changed now. So, you know, margins are different than they were 2-3 years ago. Hence my answer being to hold.
I remember when I first got here, it was around when Emaar Beachfront was just like, it was like flipping central. Like flip, crazy. Flip. You buy something, you can just sell it for like 10-20% premium.
Very different now.
3 months down the line. Do you know what I mean? 3 to 6 months down the line. It is very different now. No, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for having me. It's been a great pleasure.
It's a pleasure having you here also. Of course, if you are interested in finding out more about AHS, obviously you've got myself here, Christy, and you've got Marius here. So please do reach out.